Hey, what's up with it, King? What's up with it, Queen? Hey, you already know who it is. This your big brother, Demont Pope, aka Mr. Purpose over pointless excuses. Listen, check this out, man. I appreciate you for checking in right now, tuning in, listening in, however you listening. I thank you, right? Listen, I got another special guest for you, of course, because we've been rolling in the guests. We've been inspiring, right? We've been empowering. We've been educating, motivating. We've been doing everything that we can to try to give to you, right? To let you know that purpose looks good on you. So today, without further delay, right? Without me prolonging the time anymore, let me introduce to some, right? And present, let me say this properly, present to others, right? None other than my sis, right? Miss Sophia Tompkins, AKA STInc, the CEO. Yeah, what's up, sis?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, you already know what it is with me. I'm grateful to be here, man. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule, man, of helping entrepreneurs and business people do their thing, man, to come kick it over here with your bro. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And this is what this is about. I mean, it's kingdom business. I'm going to stop for the kingdom of God, whatever I'm doing, because that is the most important thing. As God is elevating me and, continuously pouring into me, as he pours into me, I'm going to pour from my saucer, because that's what's left over for the people. You feel me? Yeah. So whenever it's kingdom business, I'm going to stop and do what thus says the Lord, because it's all for the glory of God. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be the person that I am if it wasn't for God. I wouldn't have the clients that I have if it wasn't for God. I wouldn't be a Godpreneur if it wasn't for God. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to do what God is telling me to do.
Yeah, I love that. I love what you said. It's kingdom business is because see, that's what people need to understand. See, we've been talking about purpose and business and entrepreneurship and all of that, but we haven't really been focusing in on the business of establishing, you know what I'm saying, the kingdom and being good stewards over the gifts and talents and abilities, products and services that God has blessed you with. However you want to look at it, it came from somewhere. You didn't invent it. Even if you invented it, the thought, the idea, it came from somewhere. And that's what we're talking about here. We're being transparent. We're trying to give the people purpose. So I appreciate that. And you getting into some energetic information right quick. And we ain't even jumped into no questions. So before we get into all that and you go all deep on us and do all that and have us, doing what we doing, go ahead and answer this, right? Who is Sophia Tompkins? First of all, like, who are you, right? You just gave us a little bit, right? Now go ahead and let us know who you are, right? Without the titles, who you are, and what exactly is STInc Incorporated? Like, what is that?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Sophia is a regular person. Mm-hmm. Sophia is a regular person. She's a normal person sent here by God. Only thing that I have is that I use the gift that God has given me, the gifts that God has given me, because I have more than one. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, Sophia Tompkins is just somebody being used by God. And STInc Incorporated is what it is. I'm a walking business. Sophia Tompkins Incorporated, hence the name STInc Incorporated. So, you know what I'm saying? I like to keep it funky. I like to put my spin on things. So I often say, let me put my STInc on you. So let me give you the business that is Sophia Tompkins, that is incorporated, because it's not just an LLC. It's not just a sole proprietorship. It is incorporated. It encompasses everything of God for kingdom work.
Come on, man. You hot right now. She's on fire. Listen, man, I need to get some sound effects or something in here. All right. Look. Listen. Before we go any further, I know you already grabbing value. This is what I need you to do real quick. Don't even wait. I need you to go on and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, right? I need you to hit the notification bell. That way you know whenever we putting out new content. So you stay informed. You stay in the know. You get what I'm saying? Knowledge is the new money. That's what I heard E.T. them say. So get you some. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm going to get me some. And also, look, hit that thumbs up, right? If we giving you any value, right? Because we don't want to be on here wasting your time. So if we're giving you something that you can use, right? If we stirring something up on the inside of you, then hit that thumbs up and then take it even further. If you really feel us, then go ahead and hit that share. Let about 10, 20 people that you know in your circle or your community know what's going on over here with your bruh, Demont Pope, hey, and with your sis, STInc, the CEO, as she put her STInc on it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. All right, sis. So now that we know who you are, right, and we know what STInc Incorporated is, and the multi functions, right, that you do. So let's talk about a little bit more about that, since we know right now that you pretty much putting your stink on everything. I'm gonna keep saying that, man. That might be the title of this episode. I'm not even sure. We might find out. But look, since we know what you do, and obviously you love what you do, you're passionate about what you do, and to take it even further, it appears to be an answer to what you are called to do. And as I wear the word purpose, right, on my chest, right, it's your purpose. And I can tell you enjoy it, right? And I can tell that you aspire, right, to be a blessing to everybody who you encounter, be it professionally or just casually. So I can dig that, appreciate it, salute you for that. Now let me ask you, have you always wanted to do what you're doing? Have you always wanted to be this multi-purpose entrepreneur? I was on your website. I ain't gonna lie, I did a little homework. I'm on your website, and I don't know if it's something that was recent or if you've changed it, but you was talking about a Jackie of all trades at this time, and I'm like, what is that? You've always been a Jackie of all trades, or did you just wake up and now you woke up like this? You feel what I'm saying?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I am a natural performer. So I wanted to be a backup dancer for Beyonce, choreographer for Beyonce. That's what I wanted to do. Like, I've always been in performing arts. So I sang, I danced, I performed in theater. That was my passion. I loved it. However, when I went off to college, my mom was like, no, you need to find something that you can do. And quite naturally, I went into the land of business. I was like, well, I'm gonna go to school for business administration. I had a full-time scholar. I had a full academic scholarship to any school in Florida. I graduated top 10% of my class. So I had the money, I had the education, I had the brains and the beauty and the talent, right? So when I got to college, I come from humble beginnings. So I didn't have any money. So I had to make some things shake. I sold sunglasses, I did hair, I cooked, and quite naturally, me selling things, I liked free stuff. So when you enter into brand ambassador work, you get free stuff. I'm a college student. I live in a dorm. I need free stuff. I'm braiding hair. I sold $5 sunglasses at my school, and that's how I made my money. So I've always had a natural niche for business. In high school, my mom wouldn't allow me to get a job. Okay, so I needed to make extra money, right? So my mom would give me $20 every week for food, just for me to have. I would save that. I would buy candy from the Latinos. They had the Mexican candy, let's be honest, they had the Mexican candy. And so I would sell the candy. I would buy the candy for them for 10 cents, sell the candy for 25 cents. That's a 15-cent profit, right? Come on. I'm gonna show you how I show you how I cook this dope. Then I took my money and I could use it for whatever I wanted to use. You feel me? And I mean dope as a colloquialism, not actual dope now, dope as a colloquialism of how I use my resources, and I expanded myself. And I was able to actually do things that I wanted to do because I was in dance. My mom said, as long as you bring home your grades, I brought home A's and B's. You can do whatever you want. And my mom was a little bit strict because, hey, I'm pretty, I'm the hot thing, I'm top 10% of my class. So, the folks was after me. But she wanted to make sure that kept my mind where it needed to be, and education came first. And she said, if it was not home, school, or church, you cannot go. So that's exactly where I went. Home, school, and church. And that's where I stayed. And so therefore I grew up knowing God, and I grew up in the church. However, I was not of the church. And it wasn't until later where I began to find my purpose and find out who God really was after my mom died, is when I really found out who God really, really was, and who he was, how he was taking care of me, that I noticed that God has always had me all of my life. And again, when I mentioned that the folks was after me, for people who see me, I don't really, wear certain types of things because of my body, right? So me going from a 15-year-old girl with a body of a grown woman, you know what I'm saying? I had to shield myself. And I'm going to show you how this all goes with business, right? So when I got to college, of course, the folks was after me, but there's everybody always has that grandparent or that mom that prays over you. And that's how it became purpose. These folks prayed for me and prayed over my protection, that even though I was in college and I was this place and I was that place and I was dancing, not the shaky booty dancing, but I danced for school. I actually danced at FAMU on a dance team, that I was still covered. And so from even those experience in dance and being with music artists and me actually performing my own music and writing my own music, I've always been in marketing. Why? Because you have to promote yourself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And so that's how it ties into everything. I have always been marketing. Always, from high school to college till now, that it's just evolved over time. As we grow in Christ, we evolve over time. So it's natural. It's in me. This is who I am. I am STInc, the CEO. I am Sophia Tompkins Incorporated. I am a walking business. I am a Godpreneur. I am a purpose pusher. Just like you push purpose through your words and through your power and through your presentation. This is what we do. A presentation is branding and marketing. It all ties together.
Absolutely. And I
And
love
right now, I mean, I'm on God's positioning system right now, GPS, and I'm going in the direction with him.
That's right. That's right. Now,
Period.
I like how you put that, that Godpreneur thing. I like how you keep saying that. I like that Godpreneur. You know what I'm saying? Also too, I like the fact that you talked about coming from humble beginnings. So it ain't like you just fell into being successful, but you also pointed out that the purpose was always there, even from a little girl. And you even talked about some more challenges of the folks trying to get at you or whatever. Now, to be clear, she's not talking about the police chasing her. She wasn't breaking rules or causing crime or nothing. We know kids watching this. She's talking about boys chasing her down because she was cute and they liked, her shape of her body or what have you. So let's be clear. Right? Now, also, you talked about basically pursuing what God put in you to do. That's what it's about. And knowing, right, this is what I'm here for. Like, it's always been there. It's always been clear, because everybody's not clear of what it is that they're supposed to be doing. So next question I'm gonna move into real quickly is, let me ask you this. What is one of the most important, right? One of the most important lessons that you've learned over your career? Now, I also learned in the previous question that you had to go through a period of educating yourself. So we know that education is very important. Education is key. However you get your education, everybody can't get it in formal education or formal institutions. So however you get your education is important. But also, just tell us what else is important, some lessons that you've learned.
Man, I've learned that the difference between being cocky and confident. I mean, just like I said, I graduated top 10% of my class. So when I came out
I can relate. I just want to let you know, you ain't finna keep throwing that at me. Like I can't relate. I can relate, man. I graduated top 10% in mine too, just to let it be known. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I flunked out my first year.
Wow.
Okay.
I flunked.
Yeah. I mean, I totally flunked. I mean, I flunked so bad, it's a shame. But even in that failure came my purpose, because at the end of the day, yes, I failed. But look at where I'm at now. I own 2 businesses. Okay. I took that failure. I didn't let it stop me. I kept going. I repositioned myself, because I went back, even though I didn't go to school. I done been to 5 colleges. I still ain't got a degree yet. However, I have a degree in God and a PhD in God that can't no school teach me. So I took my failures and I learned that the difference between being cocky, because I was cocky, I was hot. Okay. And I turned that into my confidence. That failure turned into my confidence, because sometimes, we can get so puffed up. God will humble us. You hear me? And then he will take us all the way down. And I have been in the bottom. Again, I came from humble position, a humble position, humble beginnings. However, I never let that stop me. Okay. I took that as, okay, this is where I'm at. What resources do I have in my hand? Because even though we ate pork and beans and weenies, I like pork and beans and weenies. I do not mind pork and beans and weenies. I eat pork and beans and weenies, or I'll eat a $400 or $500 meal if I want to. Why? Because I appreciate every part of the journey. And that is the purpose and why God takes us through what we take us through. He can take us high and he can take us low, but at the end of the day, we still got to look up.
Gotta still look up. Either way, come on now. Come on, wait, let's pause right there. Like, it don't matter where you at, you still gotta look up. You know what I'm saying? So
Listen,
we just want to pause for the calls and let y'all know to look up right quick. You know what I'm saying? Look up, pay attention. You understand what I'm saying? What we got going on. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up while you looking up. You know what I'm saying? And we getting into it, man. It's your big brother, Demont Pope, and that's your big sis, STInc, the CEO, in here dropping bars, dropping value, inspiring. She doing everything. She educating, she preaching, you know what I'm saying? She speaking, she reaching, and she marketing all at the same time. I ain't mad at it at all. Listen, come on
Jackie
with it.
of all trades.
Come on with it.
Jackie of all trades.
Now check it out. Check it out. Check it out, STInc. Can I call you STInc? I'm gonna call you STInc, right?
You sure can.
See how I'm just gonna tell you that without, you know, I mean, I'm glad I got your approval, because that would have been embarrassing for people to see me get, no, you cannot call me that, right? So thank you. All right, so STInc,
it don't even matter when it comes to you. I don't care what you call me, just don't call me out my name.
That's love. That's love, sis. Appreciate it. So, all right, in your opinion, now that you've dropped the lessons on us, in your opinion, like, right, what would be, I would say, one of the most important strengths or personality traits, right, that a person needs and to basically do what you do? Like, if a young girl or a young guy is watching this and like, hey, I want to get off in this marketing thing because she looked like she's being her authentic self, right? She can even incorporate who she is and her moral ethics and her value and her love for God. She can still incorporate that in what she does, and she can still, you know, be humble and talk about eating poking beans and weenies and stuff like that, and still talk about eating $300-400 plates. Like, I might want to do that, but like, what is one of the key personality traits or strengths that a person would need to do what you do, or even attempt, let's say, to do what you do?
It's about consistency, man. It's what you want to do. It's your passion. It's your purpose. Only you know your passion. Only you and God know your passion and your purpose. At the end of the day, he gave it to you. If he give you a vision, he gave it to you. If he gives you something, he gave it to you. He's showing you, he's going to show you the way. Only thing you got to do is take a step. So the most important thing is really taking that first step, and God will take it the rest of the way. Yeah. Because I done did.
Yeah.
And I'm authentically myself. Whether I make a mistake, I done made a lot of mistakes. I sure have. And I'll admit to them. But at the end of the day, I'm me. I am STInc, the CEO. That's why it's in the name. Sophia Tompkins Incorporated. It's in the name. It don't change. That's going to be my name until I get married, and I'm still going to have the business up top. My daddy told me I can't change my name. So that's the same thing that goes with God.
My name got my daddy blood on it.
Right there. Exactly. Think about it. My name got my daddy blood on it. We're gonna switch it to spiritual real quick. So as me being a child of God, right? First name God, last name child. I am God's child. My name don't change.
Come on. And see, I like that. And I like how you just basically said the name don't change, God don't change, because let's deal with it. Let's talk about it in this pursuit of purpose and in business, entrepreneurship. I always like to mention that this ain't limited to just profession, because again, that ain't what I'm here to do. I'm just here to talk about purpose. I'm here to do what I believe that God put me here to do, whether people believe or agree with it or not. You understand what I'm saying? Let me ask you this. I was having a conversation with my mom earlier, and I was talking about how people pretty much go up and down. One day we believe, one day we don't believe, one day we sure of what our purpose, one day we're not sure. And I'm glad you mentioned that God doesn't change, right? So the purpose doesn't change, right? The method or the means to get you to the purpose may change, right? The process may change, the levels and the stages may change, but the purpose may not necessarily change. Like you talked about your purpose being there ever since you was a little girl, and the purpose hasn't changed. It's just now it's more defined, it's more crafted. The craft is more mastered, right? So you're able to walk in the confidence of what you believe that God called you to be, because that's the problem. A lot of us, we are becoming what somebody else told us to be. I was talking about with another one of my guests previously, and we were talking about how everybody is trying to become whatever the preacher prophesied or called them over the pulpit, or whatever their mother or father is pushing them to become, or whoever, however you're doing it. A lot of us are existing trying to create or become the identities that other people has placed on us, and we're trying to basically fulfill other people's purpose, or they're trying to fulfill their purpose in us. God don't change. that gift, that love that you have for doing something, just like the love that you have for people, right? It don't change. You make a choice to stop loving at times, right? But it don't change. So again, this ain't what we here to talk about. You understand what I'm saying? But since we talking about it, we gonna talk about it. That's why it's important to know who you are, because you're knowing when it's time for you to go in a different area, because somebody may be viewing or listening to this right now and they just may need some encouragement. They ain't trying to be no business owner. They just trying to get up and go to their job and be the best employee or do the best they can do for that day. So we're gonna take this time out and we're gonna speak life to you. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna encourage you, we're gonna empower you. And you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get back to my topic of discussions, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to run you away. We want you to stay, but we want you to know that it's okay to feel how you feel. You understand what I'm saying? And Sophia wouldn't have mentioned what she mentioned, and the interview wouldn't have taken the turn that it has taken if it wasn't for a reason. And even if you are that only reason, guess what? It's worth it. It's worth it. And between me and you, right? Can't nobody really check me anyway about what we talking about, because this is what God gave me. So can't nobody take this. Yeah, can't nobody take this from me. Like if they don't like it, like the worst thing they can do is not listen to it or say something bad about it. But I'm gonna still be okay, right? So we want you to know that it's all right. All right. Now let's get back to the regularly scheduled program. All right. Hey, Sophia, check it out, man. I'm loving having this conversation with you, having this empowering session. It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? But very grateful, because all things in God's timing. So you've definitely poured into me. You've inspired and motivated me. And you already know where I come from. So just like you, I grew up in the church too. Oftentimes we try to take a lot of different routes, but my purpose has been the same. Like I was that guy, like you was talking about, trying to be the dancer for Beyonce. Listen, I was that guy when I heard Tupac. I'm trying to be the next Tupac. You understand what I'm saying? And then I realized that my life wasn't really like that. I wasn't really built or came from the cloth to be able to talk about some of the things he talked about. I started talking about the things I did know about, you know what I'm saying, which was the struggle and growing up in church and all of that. But look at what I'm doing now. There's no instrumental playing. There's no band behind me. Like there's no dance to this. This is just real conversation, communication, using the words that God gave me to inspire and empower. So listen, I'm grateful, Sophia, for you coming out. Before we get any other questions asked or answered or anything like that, do me a favor. Y'all hit the subscribe button, all right? Hit the notification bell. Oh, they thought I was gonna ask you something real deep. Yeah, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit that notification bell. Yeah, hit that thumbs up, right? And share it. Like, since we started out with sharing it with about 10 people, 20 people, right? Now share it to about 50, right? Share it to about 100 people, right? Yeah. Anyway, let's go. Now, Sophia, STInc, right?
Yeah.
Since you done changed the whole course of my interview, all right? Let me get back in the driver's seat here. Check this out, right? What is the biggest challenge? Because we're talking about challenge. I just got through talking about a challenge, how we go up and down. When you mentioned that thing about the name staying the same, and I realized the purpose stays the same, the calling stays the same, but we can't identify it because the obstacles present different challenges. And that's a challenge in itself. Trying to know who you are, suffering from an identity crisis, right? And struggling from insecurity. I'm talking about my own struggles and my own stories. I'm talking about one day I'm believing that I know for a fact God called me and told me to do a thing. And then I'm realizing, oh, wait a minute. Did God even talk to me? Or I'm thinking maybe I done lost my mind and made the biggest mistake of my life. And then it's like, oh, okay. All right. Okay. So maybe God did call. So I know what it's like to go back and forth. I know what it's like to make sacrifices, right? And then feel like now I done made the biggest mistake of my life. You understand what I'm saying? And I know what it's like to be confirmed or affirmed. You understand what I'm saying? So check it out. What is one of the biggest challenges that you're facing right now in your business? Or even if you want to share that another challenge that you handle, since we going in this direction, since we blessing the people, let's bless the people, right? Let's talk about a challenge, right? And how you are handling it.
Listen, so what you're saying is true, but think about it. All great people in the Bible went through something. They suffered identity crisis. David, okay. Yeah. Solomon, okay.
That's facts.
Abraham. Okay, look at the fact, look at what they went through, because at the end of the day, when you are called by God, he gonna challenge you, he gonna push you, he gonna do all kind of things. Do I suffer from identity crisis all the time? You're right. When I know what God is calling me to do, I don't want to talk to people. Some days I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't like you. Right. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to help you with your business. You about to waste my time. You don't want to do what I asked you to do. But at the end of the day, with my purpose, I know, okay, this person came to me with their business, right? But it's much more than them coming to me with their business. They coming to me for something, whether it's for me to lay my hands on them, for me to speak life into them, but it's for me to increase and enlarge their territory with the gifts that I have, because at the end of the day, the gifts that we have are not just for us. So some of the challenges that I go through is I may not want to do it, but at the end of the day, with the woman of God that I am and who God has called me to be, I am going to do it, because at the end of the day, it is God who is my father. It is God who is continuously blessing me. And when I don't do what God told me to do, there's consequences and there's repercussions for things like that. And at the end of the day, I like my punishments to be light. Okay. I don't like to get spanked by God. At the end of the day, I don't want it. Okay. I don't want the smoke. I remember you speaking about wanting all the smoke. You can have that by yourself. But Sophia Tompkins does not want that. STInc, the CEO, wants enlargement. She wants increases. She wants blessings. And so for me to do that, I have to use my gift. I have to speak what God says speak. I have to go where God says go. I have to work what God says work. I have to talk to this person, because at the end of the day, when God tells me to go speak, when God tells me to go lay my hands, when God tells me to anoint this person, when God tells me to heal, when God tells me to set free and deliver, it's not for me. It is for them, because I'm nobody. I am only the vessel
all we
that
need
God
right
used.
now is the instruments and the singers to start singing. You know what I mean? That's all we need is the singers and the instruments and it's church. You dig? You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is. It is what it is. But as God is using me and as I am growing, it's very uncomfortable. So right now, I'm very uncomfortable because I'm in different territory now than where I was yesterday, where I was last month. I'm in a different place because, again, like I said, I'm on God's GPS system. There's a destination that he has put in that I have to get there. But sometimes my Wi-Fi don't work. Sometimes my data connection, sometimes I ain't on the 5G. You feel me? So because I ain't connected to the strong signal, sometimes I don't get connected to the strong signal. I can't go. You know, sometimes my GPS be a little finicky. Sometimes my waves don't work. Sometimes my waves don't tell me it's a police officer up there. You feel me? Sometimes, Apple don't want to work right.
That's
sometimes lady, she tell me to turn at the wrong time, but then she's got to reroute me just like God does. So sometimes we got to be rerouted. You got to be rerouted. You feel me? So at the end of the day, those are those challenges. But at the end of the day, those challenges and those obstacles are lessons. And at the end of that lesson, it is a blessing, and it's not personal. Sometimes God has to break us, reroute us, and move us and polish us to get us to be where we need to be. Because at the end of the day, the master does not see the masterpiece until they step back and they look at it.
Let me sit back on that. Hold on. All right. I had to let that marinate.
At the end of the day, you got to think sometimes, what we think may be messed up and ugly are actually masterpieces. Some of the greatest works of art have discrepancies.
Sometimes I get guests on here and I just want to sit back and just let them. I'm just, this is another one of those moments, y'all. I just want to sit back and just listen. You understand what I'm saying? Just want to listen. Because here's the thing, right? Oftentimes it's been my experience, you know what I mean, in church leadership and in leadership period, right? And even in mentoring, and it's like we always, it's like our nature. Sometimes we want to avoid the challenge and we want to avoid the obstacles. Like even often in church, we praying to avoid the problem, to avoid the conflict, and oftentimes like we can't grow without the conflict. Like I think I posted a post I think it was today, right? And I was talking about, listen, adversity isn't fun, right? It ain't comfortable. It's very uncomfortable, but it's necessary for growth. You understand what I'm saying? So the challenges are what shows us where we are. We have to know where we are so we know what adjustments to make. You just got through talking about being rerouted, but you won't know you need to be rerouted if you don't know you lost. I'm mad that I got tongue-tied and you got tongue-tied on that same word. We gonna defeat that word, rerouted. All right, I got it now. So we got to know where we are though. So I'm glad that you stopped by here and drop some stink right over here with your bruh. But before I ask another question, and before you got to get out of here, I want you to let the people know where you at with it, right? Your social media, website, got some events coming up, like where you at with it? You understand what I'm saying?
All right, man. So all things is STInc the CEO.
Yeah.
Okay. All you got to do is Google STInc the CEO. So STInc, that's Sophia Tompkins Incorporated, the CEO, because I am the CEO of my own company. All right. Yeah. So STInctheceo.com, that'll show you everything I have, from logos to websites to DIY marketing courses, things that if you don't want to pay me to do work, I will teach you how to do it. Okay. So all of those things are available to you. So even if you Google STInc Incorporated, my stuff is going to show up because I branded myself as such. And then also I want to, give a little shameless plug to my nonprofit organization, where we are looking to build our first shelter this year, an education center. Right now I am operating my nonprofit out of my home. So far, I've had a total of 9 ladies who've been able to go through my home and venture on to better places. Yeah. And so that website is www.nratco.org. That is nratco.org. Feel free to raise a fundraiser on Facebook if you want to, Instagram if you want to, donate if you want to. It is a 501c3. You will get credit on your taxes because, hey, if you're helping out, I love to give a hand up and not a hand out, okay? A hand up and not a hand out, because when you give handouts, a lot of times it's not appreciated. But when you give a hand up and you're pulling somebody up to another level, that increases their life. And so I say that to say this is the same thing I do in all of my businesses. I'm going to give that hand up and not a hand out, because at the end of the day, you've got to do the work yourself. And if you take that first step, either STInc gonna take you the rest of the way with God, or God is gonna take you the rest of the way, as long as you take that step.
Listen, man, I love it. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I love it. You understand what I'm saying? It's real. And listen, I'm grateful, right? Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. Because you got a lot on your plate. You understand that? So I'm grateful for every guest that come in here and add value and stirs things up around here, get things hot in the kitchen right quick as we cooking. You dig what I'm saying? Listen, y'all, I want y'all to know that purpose looks good on you. But before we let you go, STInc, I got one more question. Excuse me. And that question is simply this, right? Like, what would you tell that one person, right, that's just now starting out in your particular career and industry? And I'm gonna take that further, because lately here on the past few episodes and interviews, we've been talking about a lot more than just the aspects of starting a business. We've been talking more about the purpose. We've been talking more about the calling. We've been talking more about the inspirational aspect, the educational aspect, and the motivational aspect. And right now, like, what would you say to that person? Since you just know that you've always known that marketing has always been a part of your life. What if that person doesn't really know what's that thing? Or what's that stink that they have? You get what I'm saying? What would you say to that person, either starting out or wanting to start out, and just identifying their purpose? Let's go there. We finna take a whole different turn with this last question.
I would say this: look inside yourself. What's in your hand? What resources that you have? What is your passion? Because at the end of the day, your passion is your purpose. Whatever your passion is, that's your purpose. If you like cut grass, that's your purpose. Somebody need their grass cut. And who knows, you cutting somebody's grass, they seeing you out there cut grass every day or every week or whatever, and they see how you work, and might inspire them to, hey, let me give them a little extra money for their business because it's hot outside. You like to cut grass. Okay, cool. but you might learn something about grass. How does grass grow? What nutrients does grass need? What are these things? And that then can turn into a message from God about how you're going to fertilize grass to make it green and make it look better, to make somebody's home look better. So then it's going to add to curb appeal. So now they can sell their house where their house might have been worth $200,000. Now, because you've manicured their yard to such a way, now it's worth $250,000. So you see, there is a purpose and there's a passion. So both of them work hand in hand. So you have to search within yourself and ask yourself, what is it that I like to do? Because when you do what you like to do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Come on, I be trying to tell them all the time, man. I heard that saying a long time ago. When you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life. That's how you can find yourself getting lost. And you know what I mean? I be up here working and wifey be like, hey man, you've been up there all day. And I'm like, oh, have it? I thought it only been a couple hours. You understand what I'm saying? Kids be mad, you know what I mean? Dad, every time I walk to the door, they think I'm leaving there. They like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. And again, thank you so much, Sophia, for taking time out, coming to kick it with us. Thank you for sharing your social media. So y'all go and check her out, do what y'all got to do, man. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you for taking time out, listening, kicking it with us this entire episode. You understand what I'm saying? We hit some highs, we hit some lows. You understand what I'm saying? And then at the end, we exploded with a lot of purpose, right? So check it out. I see y'all back next week, right? Sophia, don't go nowhere. But for now, I see y'all next week. You understand me? Until then, it's your big brother, Demont Pope, aka Mr. Purpose Over Pointless Excuses. That's your big sis, Sophia Tompkins, aka STInc, the CEO. Yeah.